Hello everyone and welcome into a socially distanced production of School Talk here on October the 20th. I am your host Clay Abels from the WJHI studios. With me today is our student guest host Lily Fondrisi, and joining us today for the first time our new Director of Transportation here at Greater Clark County Schools, Mr. Daniel Borders. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on today.
Excited to have you with us. I know for you, big change jumping in here in the middle of the year to become the Transportation Director, but a great situation for you in the sense of stepping in the middle of the year tough, but you've had some experience here at Greater Clark County Schools before, recently, and also you've spent a long time as well in the transportation department at other school systems. So let's start off with that. What's your experience here previously with Greater Clark County School, and tell us a little bit about yourself and your past inside of transportation around education.
Okay, I've been in school transportation for at least 21 years, working in different districts. Love it. I was pretty hesitant of starting in it, didn't want to be on a bus full of kids, and we started and fell in love with it. Been doing it ever since. I was at Greater Clark, been here for about 3 years, and then took about a 3-month hiatus, I guess you could say, and then came back as director and ready to get started and get to work.
For you on this position, what brought the desire to come back to Greater Clark? Because you mentioned you were here for 3 years, then you had to move, now you've decided to come back in. What's been an excitement for you and enjoyment to come back to Greater Clark, and how did this all basically come back and play for you?
Basically, I love a challenge. Where I went before for a couple months, I was kind of bored in the job that I was doing. I was ready to jump back. Again, I love transportation. I love school buses. I love the parents here. I love the staff here. So I honestly just missed everybody and wanted to come back. And it just worked out with the superintendent. We had some talks and we agreed and we came back, and I'm ready to I just love it. I mean, I love school buses.
Well, I'm glad to have you in here, and we're going to lead now for our first time with our student question for you. We'll send it over to Miss Lily Fondrisi here with our student question today on School Talk.
So in regards to the 360 Ride app, are there any plans to replace or fix the app for more accuracy?
Yes, absolutely. Parents have voiced their concern over that app, and we have listened. I'm not against replacing it. I'm for fixing it if possible at first. The Ride 360 app only mirrors the information that we have in our routing software. So once we get that cleaned up, and once we clean up the routes and things like that, it'll basically, a lot of that will take care of their app in itself. And if it doesn't, then I'm not opposed to scrapping it and starting over new.
All right.
Awesome. Well, that's Lily Fondrisi with our student question here on School Talk, talking about the 360 Ride app. We're here with Mr. Daniel Borders, our new transportation director at Greater Clark County Schools, here with you on WJHI. Mr. Borders, I know coming in and taking this job, there's a lot on your plate, especially coming in the middle of the year. For you coming in, from the standpoint of issues that you want to address, what are some of the top things when you decided to come back and take this job that you said, okay, here's the top 3 or 4 things we need to work on and get better at?
Absolutely, the top priority is to get more staff. We're extremely short-staffed. We start every day with 6 open routes, so that means all of our subs are currently on buses, so any absences that we have, office staff, I drive almost every day now. Our COO drives every day. Assistant director's driving every day. So our first top priority is to try to eliminate maybe a few routes and also try to get as many people hired as we possibly can.
For you, I know before we talk about bus drivers and the shortage in that area, when we look at busing and all the routes, I know that there's that combination of middle school and high school routes. For you, coming in here with the middle school and high school routes, what are your thoughts on that? Is there anything that needs to be adjusted, or what's the best way, efficiency-wise, do you think, as the Director of Transportation, for all of that to work together?
When it comes to any type of school transportation, it's always on the move. It's a moving target, so there's always places that we can be better efficient, we can do things better. With going from a 3-tier to a 2-tier, it actually eliminated a few runs. I believe that with a little bit of fine-tuning, we can eliminate a few more. The issue is some of the crowding on the buses. We don't want to overcrowd any bus, and especially with COVID, we've got kids coming back and forth in school, so we have to plan for that as far as the capacity on the buses. So we definitely, one of the things on that going from 3-tier to 2-tier is there's definitely some issues that we can take care of and we can deal with in a straight line and streamline that process.
I know there's been some route changes over the year to make things more efficient and, again, get everybody home safely and at the quickest time. Are route changes for the year, are they final, or do you see more changes down the road? No. What's the stance on that?
No, when it comes to routing, nothing's ever final. It's a moving target. We're always looking every day to be more efficient. We're always looking every day to streamline things to make sure that we can make sure the kids get to and from school safely. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what all of our jobs are, transportation. Whether you're the director, whether you're a bus monitor, chauffeur, anybody in transportation, our main goal is to get kids to and from school safely, and that's it. So, you know, it's always on the move, but we'll definitely be there'll be some changes coming. Not major changes, hopefully, but if it's something that we can do that'll keep the kids safe and make things more efficient, I'm open to it.
Here with Daniel Borders on School Talk today on October the 20th, talking a little bit about the new transportation director here with Mr. Borders, talking about his job and also some of the changes that we've seen here with Greater Clark County Schools and transportation, and some of the things that I know are big on your plate this year, Mr. Borders. You mentioned as well the shortage in drivers.
Yeah.
For you, as somebody that's, you know, in charge of transportation and trying to get people to come in and work for Greater Clark, what are some of the things you would sell to somebody that's looking for a job right now or has had experience in the past as a bus driver? Maybe they're retired. Why would you say Greater Clark County Schools is a great place to be as a bus driver, and this is a place you want to join in and be a part of the GCCS community?
Absolutely. As far as past employees or maybe someone who's never even driven a bus before, I'd say one of the main things come with us, transportation, because we're a family. I mean, we're working to create that environment to where everybody's welcome. We feel like a team. It's not a, you know, us against them type of situation. When it comes to driving a bus, if you're looking for a job that has part-time hours but full-time benefits, you can't get anything better than Greater Clark. I mean, between the wellness clinic, between the insurance, I mean, it's a win-win situation. If you're, you know, a lot of times we have parents that maybe want to be home when their kids are home. So if they're off on summer break, fall break, winter break, things like that, I mean, it's a perfect fit for a lot of parents, maybe just looking for something to do, have some extra money, and get great benefits.
For you, I know, I guess this is probably the best question to ask you from this sense. I know in the past when Mr. Lofter's come on here, we've had people after the show ask about, you know, being a substitute teacher and where to go for contact information. If somebody wants to be a bus driver, wants to be a part of transportation, what's the best way to contact you or whoever is best to contact in terms of if they want to work for transportation?
They can definitely always contact me by email, and we can give that out, or I can give it out right now. It's dborders@gccschools.com. The first step is always to apply online at the GCC Schools website. Once that happens, we can pull up their app and we can go through it, but we're definitely hiring. Matter of fact, we actually made I guess you could say, a passionate plea to some of the parents. It was yesterday, day before yesterday, about how short we were, and we had 12 to 15 people respond and asking about, you know, what to drive, and they'd love to do it, and where's the first step. So the parents have absolutely stepped up, and I believe that's going to, they're going to save us, I believe. So I'm looking forward to the future.
One of the last things I want to ask you here is, I know we talk a lot about you, about, hey, you know, what can you do better? How can transportation help? But I want to look at the other side. How can parents and students help transportation help you out specifically? Is there ways they can communicate better? Is there efficiencies? I know one of the things too, I hear a lot of, you know, at the end of the day, the car rider line,
right,
you know, making sure that's as efficient as possible. What's the best way parents, whether they have their students on buses or it's car pool or it's car riding, what's the best way parents can help communicate and be in the best shape with you guys so everybody can work together?
At the moment, I'd say the biggest thing we ask for parents to be patient with us. Or like I said, everything's new right now. We're going to be restructuring some things down at transportation to make things more efficient and to make things more, really honestly, to get out communication better to the parents. That's definitely a place that we can improve on. So we're going to improve on that part. So we're asking parents to be patient with us and understanding on that. When it comes to bus stops, we ask that they be at the bus stop 5 minutes prior to the assigned stop. I mean, that's one of our biggest issues with drivers is we're waiting for students, and if, you know, a bus has to wait 30 seconds here and a minute here, well, when you're making 30 stops, it makes them late to the school. So we're asking that we'll do our part and parents do our part, and I believe we can work together and we can make this the best department in the state.
Last thing I'll have for you here, if you want to say anything in community, I know this is what, your third day on the job?
Third day.
I'll say jumping in quickly. I know you've had a lot on your plate, but just throughout the first few days, I know you're past here at GCCS. Is there anything you'd like to say to the community or anything you'd like to get out there and talk about, hey, this is what we need, or just want to say thank you? Anything you want to say to the community of Greater Clark?
Yeah, I'd say first and foremost, absolutely thank you. I mean, the parents, like I said, I've been at Greater Clark before, and the parents that I've worked with have been absolutely amazing. They've stepped up. Again, we're going to actually have a lot of the parents coming out to drive buses for us, be monitors for us, so they're already stepping up. Really, my promise to you is that if we get your kids to school, we'll get them home, and we'll get them home safely.
Fantastic. Well, this is Daniel Borders, our new transportation director here at Greater Clark County Schools. Excited to have you in today and look forward to having you in the future.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Daniel Borders, our director of transportation here at Greater Clark County Schools. I am Clay Abels, joining you today with School Talk here on October the 20th with our socially distanced production. Just a reminder, you can rewatch this program on cable 184. We'll have it throughout the week on our TV channel, also playing on audio through WJHI.com and on our radio station 98.5 FM, and also through social media, as well as we'll have it all on our WJHI pages. For Mr. Daniel Borders and Ms. Lily Fondrisi, I'm Clay Abel saying so long, and thank you for watching School Talk. This has been 98.5 WJHI, LP Jeffersonville, home of the Red Devil Network.